Hey guys, my name's Harry. I'm here from the Inference team. I do engineering and infrastructure here. We're a small team, mostly working on training and hosting custom large language models for different customers across different sort of industries. We also have new LLM observability tool for pass all your inference through, and you can then run evals against, is this the best model for me? Is there another model that could be good? Do I have enough data and volume where training your own model could actually be worthwhile and save you a significant amount of money? We then also do deployments for other open source models, sort of Kimi K2.5, Llama, and all the other models you're familiar with, and can also benchmark those against the frontier models that you might be using for your workloads already. We love ClickHouse internally. We use it for tons of different products. Basically, all of our main products have some form of ClickHouse inside them. We use it to store all the AI inferences that come through, both our proxy and our own inference serving product. Logging and telemetry for our self-serve custom model training platform that we've been working on and are releasing. And then also analytics queries against our main Postgres DB. Another use for ClickPipes, we have that data all copied over to ClickHouse where we can query it much faster. We then also have all of our open telemetry logging going through, so that's about 100,000 a minute in a self-hosted cluster, some one-off customer products like the one I'm going to talk about today, and then other various internal tools that we've been playing with. The main problem is that I wanted to talk about, I guess the most interesting one, is how we're using ClickPipes to take data from an S3 bucket, R2 in this case, put it into ClickHouse, and then build views on top of it. We're working with a large financial institution. They have some coding agentic stuff they're working on. There was a custom model involved that we worked on. And then they wanted to actually get some insights into what are their engineers using it for, where can we retrain the model to make it better for them, and sort of what are their costs on this. The initial solution we went with is we have a Cloudflare worker that as it gets the request and response, it stores them both into R2 as separate objects. We then push a job onto a Cloudflare queue to say this request is finished. We would then retrieve the request and response pairs and then store them into a Postgres instance where we could then query on top. When we store it into Postgres, we would actually extract out all of the different parts. So they were streaming queries, we'd reconstruct them, extract all the fields that we cared about or thought we cared about at the time, and then query on top of that. Some of the problems we would have is that this queue could get backed up really quickly. This could have been solved by using a different bit of queuing software, but we worked with the Cloudflare team quite a bit to get queue limits raised, and even then, we could back it up if all the engineers come on at 9 in the morning and start opening up Cursor. There were race conditions where R2 might not have finished uploading and propagating the request and response pairs. So even when it did get processed in the queue, we would then have to put it into a retry backoff loop where maybe the request is there, but the response isn't yet, and we need both of them together before we can sort of use it. We actually couldn't change the data once we'd stored it unless we wanted to go back through and reprocess all. I think at the last time we wanted to change it was 1 million requests, so 2 million files. And then large queries would take an insanely long time, and it was exponentially growing as both adoption from them increased and the different queries we were trying to do on it for showing the data changed. We went back to the drawing board. We already knew that ClickHouse would work great for other products internally. It hadn't shipped fully through to any big production products yet, but we were imagining that we could do something similar. It followed similar patterns to other core products we made that our main product offering was. And then ClickPipes had already also worked for our Postgres data, which was significantly higher volume than what this was at the point we decided to try it. So we decided we'd come up with a new solution, which was the same Cloudflare worker putting it into R2. We would then poll, or ClickHouse Cloud would poll with a ClickPipe, which I guess would then insert that into the table. The way this ClickPipe was working for us is we had this table, it would have all the request response pairs, and they were in there keyed with their request ID / request.json or response.json. The keys were incrementing with time, so we could actually order them. They would initially all got loaded into ClickHouse into a single table, which was just timestamp, key, and content. The ClickPipe would then remember the location it got up to, wait the polling interval, see the new files, put them also into the individual ClickHouse table, and then move the marker ahead. We have this polling interval very aggressively at 5 seconds. We could make it much higher if we didn't want to go through and poll as often. Once they're in the new table, we have materialized views which do our aggregate queries. We don't care specifically about per request. The customer was only caring about on an hour or day or week volume, how many queries are being made, what tool calls are they doing, how many lines of code changed, etc. And then from the same Cloudflare worker, we would query these materialized views to show in the dashboard. The UI we made was super simple. This is all, unfortunately, fake data. But the way it would work is we had a table that took retention data and spread it out by hour. We could then use that to figure out if a user was in hour 1 on day X, are they still in all of the hours up to this point? And it's a single query then to get back all of the users. We can then make a graph like this, which in Postgres was taking about 30 seconds on page load, which isn't great when you're an exec and you want to load it up quickly on your lunch break. Now it takes about 2 seconds, so significantly faster there. We then also had graphs like this, which was conversations by hour, total active users, and then did end up being able to bring back sort of, you go to an individual employee, you then click on them, and you can go look through all their conversations because we've broken all that out into materialized views as well. It was super quick. I'm happy to answer any questions afterwards, both on this and the other products that we make internally. So yeah.